Hi, and welcome to Teach 259. I'm Justin Olmanson. I'm your instructor for the course. You should probably set the playback speed to 2 times because sometimes I pause to think about what I'm going to say. You don't need to hear me pause, so feel free to do that. I'm going to share my screen and give you a little insight into what this course is about, what it entails, and what you've gotten yourself into for January 2024. Okay. Now you should be seeing my screen, and it's going to look pretty similar to, well, what you see if you go on Canvas. Obviously, uh, you've got quite a bit of stuff on the home page. The main three links are right here, and the welcome video that I'm shooting now, obviously you want to click on that, but if you're watching the video, you don't need me to tell you that. So this course, as I wrote in the pre-J-term message, is designed for education majors and speech language pathology majors and audiology majors. It doesn't mean that other students can't take the course. It's just that it's optimized for those two majors. Okay, so whether you are elementary ed, audiology, special ed, FCS, secondary ed, this course is designed for you. Speech path, obviously. This course was designed with you in mind. If you have a different major, we can work with you. Just know that sometimes you might be asked to think of yourself in terms of being a clinician or being an educator. Okay, so the course is 3 weeks long. It moves quite fast because we have to do a semester's worth of work within 3 weeks. And so you should budget between 3.5 to 5 hours per day, Monday through Friday during the J term in order to accomplish this course. Most students say that the course is not difficult, but it is time consuming and it makes you think. Okay. Also, some things you turn in, if you don't get full credit, you don't get any credit, you can redo them to get full credit, but there's no partial credit that's granted for course projects. Okay, so as you can see, we have a soft open on December 29th. Some projects will become available, and the J term officially begins January 2nd. And that's when more projects and assignments will become available, and you can really get started. But if you want to get the jump on things and you want to get ahead a little bit, you are welcome to starting on the 29th of December. Okay, so in general, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, there are readings that you'll do. And then after you do the reading, you'll make a slide that sort of is your response to the reading. I'll show you that in a little bit. And the group act, and you'll have at least 2 group activities that you'll be doing, or one group activity and one activity with a group. And then Wednesdays and Fridays are for project work days. Monday, January 25th is MLK Day. You may complete those activities the Sunday before or the Tuesday after MLK Day. And Tuesday, January 16th, from 12:30 to 3 p.m. Central Time, we will be on Zoom together. So put that in your calendar. Brace yourself to be on Zoom for 3 hours on Tuesday, the 16th of January. Wednesday, January 17th, you'll meet with your group for 3 hours. So it'll be a group of 4 people, and you'll have to schedule a time that works for all 4 of you. Okay, all assignments and projects turned in on Thursday, January 18th, and all redos completed and resubmitted by 10 a.m. on the 19th of January, at which time you will have about 72 hours before the full spring semester begins. Okay, let me show you a few more things about the class. Where you're going to spend most of your time is in the course schedule and activities organizer. But before we go there, let me go to the bottom here, and on your page, you'll get a course summary. You obviously probably use this as a to-do list of things you need to work on for each of the days. You'll notice there's multiple things on each day for you to do. However, this won't always get you all the information. So if we go here to day one, course orientation and interaction, it takes you to this and it says, watch the day one video, go through the day one slide deck, add your comments, and name the places in the deck where you were asked to weigh in. But there are no links here. And that's because there aren't usually links within the assignments within Canvas. So you'll see there's daily slide deck activities and videos that you watch. There's readings. There's about one reading per class day, the Monday, Wednesday, Thursday class days. And then there's individual projects that you select. We'll look at that. And then there are 4 articles you're going to be writing, LinkedIn articles, 300 to 500 words long. The first 2, fairly straightforward. They're about you. This one's all about you and the relationship between learning and technology in your life. And the second one is about you learning something new and what that experience was like. And then you evaluate 2 technologies for learning or speech path clinical practice. And then group assignments. Now, this looks like a lot of group assignments. Many of these are check-ins. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, these are check-ins to see how you're doing. That's the same up here in the project area. The 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they're check-ins to see, for you to say, hey, this is how it's going. This is what my plan is. Okay. So those are quite different. But yes, there's a lot to do in this course. Okay, let's go back up to the home screen. And let's click on the schedule, the course schedule and activities organizer. This is where you're going to find the links to the activities, the videos, the slide decks. Okay, so if you need to meet me or Zoom with me, you can click on this link and schedule a time. Otherwise, you can send me an email here. I will check Canvas messages, but less frequently than I check my email. Okay, so the slide colors, if it's red, it's a synchronous day. If it's this blue color, it's asynchronous. If it's purple, it's a project day. Okay. This is where the welcome video is going to go. And so you'll notice here on day 1, Tuesday, January 2nd, change this there. Okay. The orange lets me know I still need to do some work on it before it's ready for class. Okay, so you'll notice at the top, it'll sort of say, okay, here's your in-class slide deck. And then right next to it will be a link to the video for that slide deck. So you'll click on the link and the video. And it'll take you to a slide deck. And I'll start talking my way through it and you follow along, probably at 2 times speed. And then when you come to a slide that says, take a look at the syllabus, note any questions, then you pause the video, you do that, you say, hey, I've got a question, you know, and I make up points for the day I missed class. Uh, Ecuador for lunch. And I would change the color because that's maybe a little hard to read. Okay. Now I would say, hey, you're going to Ecuador for lunch? Bring me along. Or work on the plane. But you ask your question and then don't forget to add your name there. It doesn't have to be so huge. Not sure why it is. Anyways, there. And then you go through, there'll be other slides. This one's how do you learn things? So then you write how you learn things, add your name to it as you're going through this deck. This deck, I'll, on my video, explain what's going on, give you prompts to do things. You do those things and then add your name to them as you see here. Okay, so that's the daily slide deck. And so you'll have me talking about it while you're going through it. And then you'll notice there are some things you'll be doing by 11 p.m. on Tuesday. So you'll get a YouTube account. That's where you're going to upload videos. You'll introduce yourself and add that video to the intro video. So if you go back here, you go to assignments, student intro videos, 1 minute. That's this. You click here. It asks you for a website URL. So you give it the shareable link from YouTube. And there you go. First assignment completed. Okay. And then you'll add your video to the intros deck as well. So you'll go here. This video shows you how to do it. And then you add yours and just swap this out for your name. Okay, you'll also get a LinkedIn account and you'll write about your relationship between technology and learning in your life in that LinkedIn article, and you'll post it to your LinkedIn account. And then you will read PACE chapter 1, and you'll post to the PACE deck. And if you need to resubmit, this will explain how to resubmit. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. And then course projects. So you'll notice if we go back here, Tuesday, it's sort of an in-class asynchronous day. And then, or sorry, you should say Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday is a project day. There are 25 projects that are options. You get to pick the ones you think best fit with what you're interested in doing. Okay. So how do you find those projects? You've got the link to the project options there. You've got the link to projects here. And probably most conveniently, the project options are also linked out from the home screen on the Canvas course instance. So it starts with the core course activities. These are course activities we're going to do, all of us, as part of class. Okay. So the first one is a participatory design IPLA bot project. So there's a TA for the course that's not human. And you're going to interact with that TA, see if that TA can help you learn. And you're going to do 2 interviews with a PhD student of mine. And you can sign up for times starting December 29th through January 5th. You pick a time that works for you and have a 50-minute conversation with Azadeh for interview 1, and then interview 2. At the very end of class, the 17th through the 19th, you'll have another interview with Azadeh, and you'll get 100 points for that. So as soon as December 29th, you could have 50 points toward class. And we'll talk about how the points work in a second. Okay. The daily course interaction slide decks. Notice you get 20 points for the first 8 or for the first 5. And then so this is day 1. That would be the 2nd. Day 3 should be Thursday, the 4th, et cetera, et cetera. You get 20 points for doing those. It explains what to do here. And then the last 2, you get 30 points for doing those. Okay. Readings and slide creation posts. You're going to read those articles. We go back over to assignments. And we go down to the slide decks. We've got the pacey reading. Again, this starts on the 29th. It's not due till the 2nd. You click on it. It shows you, and I think these do give you a link to the reading and the slide deck. You add a slide, not summarizing the article, but sort of like giving your take on it. Okay, so you get 270 points for doing the readings and slide creation posts. And then for each of these, you'll notice there's a video sort of describes how it works and what you're supposed to do.
So what does it mean?
Boy,
So
stop it. No. There we go. All is well. Okay, so you'll do the readings. The next one is the LinkedIn articles. Now, it used to be 10 LinkedIn articles, and now I have it down to 4. I think 4 is a good number. This describes what the project's about. And then here are some examples of students who have done the project and what they focused on, etc. So also how this project is graded, if you want more information about that. So the first 2 LinkedIn articles are 20 points each, and the second 2, the last 2, are 30 points each. You have an infographic, which is a group project. So if there's other people in class who are also English Ed and you're English Ed, or want to be a speech path in a hospital, and so do you, then you form a group with them. We'll do that on the first day. And then you work on an infographic that explains something within your content area. Here are some examples of previous groups and what they've done. Okay, and then toward the end of the class, there's a guided learning experience, parental consultation. So if you're a future educator, you would do, some people call this a mini lesson or micro teaching, where you would lead learning for 20 minutes with 3 other students, and you support them as they learn a concept that you've selected. I'll scaffold you through that process. For many students, this is the first time they've taught for real. It's not a presentation. It's a guided learning experience for your learners. And then if you're on the speech path side, you'd be doing a parental consultation or a teacher in service to explain, hey, you've got this new student coming in. They have an aphasia, and these are some steps you might want to take in the classroom to support their learning and to support their communication. And here are some devices they might be using in class or when they communicate with you, etc. Okay. And for speech paths, we read an article, the Schaefer reading, which is about information counseling, and SLPs. So that connects with this project. Okay. So those are what I call the core course activities. We're all going to do those. Now, if you miss a LinkedIn article or you didn't do one of the readings, that's okay. I mean, you'll miss the points, but maybe it'll be fine. But in general, these are the core activities we're all going to do. Okay, then you have some student selected projects. You need to do about 150 points worth of these projects. And there's a range of them. I'm going to move this down to the end. There we go. Okay. So there's a range of them. There's a design case study on a Netflix documentary called The Rise and Fall of Juul about vaping. And so it describes what the project's about. It tells you how many points it's worth. It gives you a running record. So it gives you a link to the show. You'll need a Netflix account to access it. And then you keep a running record within this document. So you just click File, make a copy, and then read through it, and then start filling it out as you're watching the episodes. Okay, I'm not going to go through all these projects. There's a group maker project if you want to form a group and design something, prototype something with your group members. Technology survey. There's a project about learning with generative AI where you use some form of generative AI to complete a learning activity or a task, including something within Teach 259. Okay. And then you select that tool, you complete the task, you use this template, same as this template to sort of help you frame your response. And you can do that twice for a total of 60 points. Okay. There's an autobiography project about your use of technology in learning. Google certification gets you nearly all 150 points, although it does take a few days for the certification to come through. So you want to do that early. There is a cost to do the exam between two MOOCs. I'm looking for a specific project. Yeah, okay. I think that's enough. You'll notice also toward the end, there are projects about all kinds of topics, including some which are particularly especially for SLPs. And then there are some projects about discussing major events in the classroom. Sometimes, really big things happen in the world and you'll want to address them in your classroom, or you might, have a client at a school as a SLP who's feeling nervous. So how do you talk about, scary things that happen in schools or in society? And so to sort of prep you for that, learning about some things that have happened in the past. This is something that happened in Omaha, the Tulsa race massacre, MLK, what MLK thinks about education, how should students address school shootings with their students, and all of those sort of tie in with discussing major events in the classroom. Anyways, also at the very end, there are some grade out activities that are for, face-to-face projects. So I'm not going to talk about those. Okay, so that's course activities. And let me go back to the home screen, home page for the course. Now, this determine your grade part also shows up here in grades and points. So when you click on determine your grade, now normally you just go to grades and you're like, oh, I've got it. But this course is a little bit different. So let's click on this. So it takes you to a spreadsheet. And in the spreadsheet, you'll notice all those different areas are listed here. And then here's the total points. And then those projects of your choosing are down here. For an example, we've got, 225. Now, I said that was supposed to be 150, right? Let me make sure I get that right. Okay, we've got 150 points. And then you'll notice this is the total number of points you'll need in the course, or this is the total number of points in the course. Now, there's more points you could get, but this will get you an A+. So if we scroll back up, you'll see that in this course, you pick the grade you want, and then you do the learning. You have the learning experiences associated with the course that allow you to get that grade. So if your goal is a C, you get to 854.1 points, you're good. Congratulations. Okay. If you want to maintain or improve your stellar GPA, aim for 1170. Even if you miss a couple of these, you'll notice there are some extra projects. Let me take this off. And that there. Okay, there are some extra projects. So you could do project 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 if you needed to make up for some things you didn't do, or maybe you didn't get project 1 in before it was due and that one closed. Well, you could use project 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 to do that. Okay, so you are in charge of the grade you want. Think of yourself as the future educator or speech path you want to be, or you aspire to be. Okay, so your future self will thank you for spending the time engaging with the course materials. So I'm not points focused, but this allows these points for the different projects. I care about the projects. I like the projects and activities that are associated with the course. I like all of them. So you completing some of them, or as many as you need to get the grade you want, I'm good with you having some choice over the experience you have in the course. Okay, so that covers a general introduction to the course. Feel free to email me if you have any questions, comments, concerns. The course moves fast, so get ready. I'm excited to start this process with you. See you on Canvas and in the Google Docs.